Welcome to the Zone Management Portal Guide. During this video guide, we will walk you through the process of adding your pools, your zones, and your verifications to the Zone Management section of the portal. Before we get started, make sure that you have a digital version of all of your zone charts. A multi-zone pool should include a picture of the entire pool with all of the zones marked, as well as a picture of each individual zone. Pools with a single zone will just need an overview picture of the pool with the zone marked. So you've completed all of your zone charts and your zone certifications, but you need to get all of that information into the portal. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that now. Let's start by clicking on the Zone Management tab on the left-hand side of the screen. And in the drop-down menu, we're going to take a look at the first option, which is the pool attraction list. The first thing we need to do is add all of our pools and attractions into the portal. Let's start by clicking on the Add Pool Attraction button. And the first thing we need to do is name our pool. The first one we're going to enter will be a multi-zone pool, and it will be our wave pool for Blast from the Past. So we are going to name it Blast from the Past Wave Pool. And then we need to enter the emergency equipment location, and we're going to say that our equipment is housed at the first aid shack. And that's it for saving the pool itself. Let's go ahead and also create our single zone pool. And this one is going to be named Single Zone Pool. And again, the emergency equipment is going to be located at the first aid shack. And save the pool and attraction zone. Now you may have multiple pools that you need to put in. You may only have one pool that you need to put in. But go ahead and enter all of the pools before moving on to the next step. All right, so you've added all of your pools to the portal, and now we need to take a look at adding all of our zones into the portal as well. Let's click on the zone overview list. And the first one I'd like to take a look at, there are two here. So we have add single guard zone and add multi-guard zone overview. Let's take a look at the second one here. So the first thing we need to do is name the overview zone, and we're just going to name it multi-zone wave pool. And then we need to choose the pool or attraction. So when we click on this, we should have an auto-populated drop-down list of all of the pools that you've entered into this portal. So for this one, it is the Blast from the Past wave pool. The number of lifeguards will be 4. And we're going to use this during open swim. We can see some other options in here like peak operations. So we may have 6 lifeguards on this wave pool. And for that, we would go back and change this to 6 and then put in peak operation. So you may have multiple overview zones for this particular pool, but for right now, we're just working on this one that has 4 lifeguards. The next thing we need to do is add an image of the overview of the entire pool and zones themselves. So let's find our picture of the wave pool and enter it into the portal here. Once it's been entered, we can click on Save. And now we should be able to see an overview picture of the pool itself with all 4 zones. And then if we scroll down, some additional information regarding the zone that we've already put in. Now we need to go in and add the individual zones themselves to the portal. So we'll click on Add Zone. And the first zone out of the 4 we're going to enter will be the wave front right. And again, we're choosing when is this used for, so we're going to say normal operations or open swim. In here, we can optionally add any details. So we might say that in this particular zone, you have to take a swim test to be in there, or you have to wear a life jacket if you're under a certain age. We can also put in there that it's a 0 depth entry, and anything else that you feel like belongs in that particular area. Additionally, we can add any extra zone emergency equipment that's specific for this zone. We do need to add an image of the zone itself, so we'll click on Add Image and then find our picture of that particular zone and open it up in the portal here. And again, click on Save. And now we can see a picture of the zone itself. So this is the front right side of the wave pool and the additional information that we entered below. The next thing we could do is verify the zone, but I want to take a look at that a little bit later on in the tutorial. So for right now, go ahead and enter in the remaining zones for your particular multi-zone guarded pool, and we'll come back in just a little bit and continue the tutorial. All right, now let's take a look at how to handle those pools that only have one zone or one lifeguard on them. So we can go down here and choose Add Single Zone, or we can stay on the Zone Overview list and scroll down and click on Add Single Guard Zone. And then in here we're going to name the zone, so or we might just name it by the chair. So I'll say Stand 1. And then what pool are we putting this zone at? And we're going to say the Single Zone Pool. When is this used? For this one we'll say Lap Swim. And then any zone details or zone emergency equipment, and then we'll add an image of the zone. Now once we add the image of the zone, this is as far as we'll have to take this particular zone information, because we only have a picture of the zone itself. There's not multiple zones in here, so there's no need to take or add different images of the individual zones, since the overview just includes the entire zone itself. So let's go ahead and click on Save. And now you can see we have a picture of the single guard zone and the additional information that we provided. And then again, an area to certify the zone, which we will take a look at here in just a minute. But what I want to do is go back and look at our zone overview list. And here now we can see that we have our single guard information for that particular pool and zone, and then we also have our multi-guard overview, and within each one we can click and view the details. And so when we go in and click the details of the multi one, it brings us to our original screen that has the overview of the pool and then a picture of each zone that we've added and the information. And note right now that nothing has been verified, but we do have the pictures of the zones as well as the information. And then if we go back out to the zone overview list, and we can go into our single guard zone and take a look at the details in here. And again, the same thing. We have the picture of our zone and the information that's listed with it, as well as again an area to verify the zone. So that is the basics of adding our pools and our zones, as well as the pictures of the zones, the zone overview, as well as the individual zones, and entering kind of all of the information about that zone as well. And the next section, let's go ahead and take a look at verifying each one of these zones. All right, so we've entered all of the pools as well as the zones into the portal, and now we need to document the verification process. Let's first take a look at the single guard zone. Click on View Details, and we'll scroll down here to the Zone Verification History section and click on the Verify Zone button. Once here, we need to enter the following information into the portal. So first, we need to tell the portal what date and time the verification took place. So we'll say that we did it this morning at 8 o'clock. Okay, and then we need to tell the portal how many spots were tested within the zone. So for this single guard zone, it's a smaller pool. We're going to say that we tested 10 locations. There's no specific number for you to be testing. You really just need to make sure that you're doing a number of spots that allows you to evaluate whether or not the lifeguard can see all areas, the top, middle, and bottom of the zone that they're expected to be guarding. Now the verification type, so did we do this with a live person? Did we use a mannequin, or maybe did we use a silhouette to complete this task? And for this, we're going to say that we used a mannequin, and then any notes that we want to put in here. And then we need to choose the employees or the staff that conducted the verification. So you should have a list of people here who are eligible to complete verifications, and you just click next to their name and it will move them over here to the selected users performing the verification. Now the person entering this information into the portal needs to agree that the zone verifications were done correctly. You can see here the agreement says I agree that users listed verified the zone. All points of the zone, including the surface, middle, and bottom of the zone, are visible to the lifeguard within the confines of the 30-second scanning and response standard. So I'm going to agree to this, and then we will click on Save Zone Verification. So we have one verification now done for this pool. It's important that for each zone or each pool that we're doing multiple verifications throughout the day. So if we did one at 8 o'clock, we need to do one later in the day after the sun has moved to ensure that the lifeguard is still able to see all areas of the zone when maybe glare moves or shadows within the pool look a little bit different. So just verify your zone multiple times throughout the day to ensure that it's always visible. Now let's take a look at doing this for the multi-zone side of things. So we'll go back up here and we'll click on Zone Overview List. And this time we're going to take a look at the multi-guard overview. So we'll click on View Details. And again, we're going to scroll down, but this time we need to go into each individual zone and add our verification. So we'll just start with the one here, which is wave back left. We'll click on View Details, and now we're going to scroll down again to verify the zone. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we'll say that we did these roughly the same time this morning as we did the other ones. We'll say that it took place around 8:15. And for this particular zone, we'll say we tested 12 spots, and we used a silhouette. And again, any notes that may need to be added, and then who conducted the verification. And again, you are agreeing that the verification was done correctly. And then we're saving it. And so now all we have to do is go back into all of our other zones listed. So we'll go back to our View Multi-Guard Zone Overview. Scroll back down and we'll go to the next one. Click on View Details again. We'll scroll down, click on Verify Zone, and again do the same thing. So we did this one this morning at roughly 8:20. And we tested, let's say, 14 spots in this particular area. And for this one, we used a mannequin. And again, we're selecting who completed the verification and then agreeing that the verification was done correctly and then saving it. So again, we need to go through, do this for all of our zones and do this again multiple times throughout the day for each zone. Now let's go back and take a look at our zone overview list. All right, so we've entered a lot of information into the portal. We have our pool names in here as well as our zones, and we just finished completing the zone verification documentation side of things. Let's go in and take a quick peek just at how this information is going to be displayed to you in the portal, as well as how to print out some of this information. So we'll start with the single guard zone. We'll click on the View Details and note up here the print button. So if we click on print, we will have a PDF that's downloaded that looks just like this. So we have a name of the pool here as well as the name of the zone, and then the information that we provided to the portal, the account, the location, the pool attraction, and then the location for the equipment, as well as our zone verification history for this particular pool and zone. So right now we've only got one in there, but as we add more verifications throughout the day, they will show up in here as well. So we'll be able to see an entire history of all of the zone verifications that we've done. Let's go back and take a look at the multi-zone. And so if we scroll down again back on our zone overview list, we'll scroll down and click on View Details. And if we scroll all the way down, we can again see the list of our pools. And now for two of them, we can see that we have verifications in there. So they were entered in at 4:09, but if we click on the View Details, we can go in and see that the verifications were actually done at 8:20 a.m. in the morning on the 22nd. We tested 14 spots and the users who completed it, and then we can go back up and click on Print, and it will download our PDF, same PDF as before, only it's now for this particular zone. So again, we can see a picture of the zone. We can see the name of the zone itself. And it is a part of the multi-guard zone overview for the multi-zone wave pool. We also have the zone information listed here, and then our verification history down here at the bottom. So again, as we add more verifications, those will show up here as well. So this is generally the overall guidance for entering your zones, your verifications, and your pictures of your zones and those types of things. If you have any additional questions regarding the zone management module for the portal, reach out to your client partner and they'll be more than happy to help you out.